Namaskar, this is Akhilesh Bhargav. Welcome to Tidbits on Business and Finance with me. In any nation, it is the government which is the biggest spender, and thus it becomes the biggest customer for its local industries and businesses. In the case of India, it is estimated that almost 70% of India's GDP, and the GDP is about 200 lakh crores, the estimate is that almost 70% of India's GDP is by way of transactions with the government, whether directly or indirectly. That is the kind of spending which the government does in India. Every government department, every government body, every government authority, every public sector undertaking, every public sector bank in itself presents a business opportunity to us. They all have budgets, they all have activities, and that becomes a source of business in the country. Take a case like NTPC. NTPC's turnover last year was about 2.25 lakh crores and it had an asset base of 1.94 lakh crores. If you take both the sides of the profit and loss account as indicative of the kind of operations and turnover that NTPC would generate, that would be estimated at almost 4 lakh crores, just one entity of the government of India. Take the case of Bharat Heavy Electricals Limited. BHEL's turnover last year was about 20,000 crores and its asset base was about 6,331 crores. On a similar reasoning, it would have provided business to the tune of almost 30,000 crores last year. The fact is that the government is a big generator of business, but the fact also is, however large, however voluminous, however lucrative, however much the government may be giving business, doing business with the government comes with its own risks, comes with its own dangers and perils. And the biggest danger that it comes with is that of delay in receipt of payments from the government of India. It is this failure, it is this reluctance, it is this refusal, and sometimes sheer inability to be able to make a payment that the biggest, the primary, and the main risk in dealing with the government and doing business with the government is that of delayed and defaulted payments. We have no such rules, regulation, or practices as are there in the US, for example. In the US, if you are a vendor or a supplier who has supplied goods and services to the federal government and you have raised an invoice and delivered it to the right person, to the right department, and at the right time, in that case, payment will be made to you immediately. In case payment is not made, they qualify it or they term it as a late payment. And any late payment from the government of US comes with an interest. In India, we have no such practice, we have no such rule or regulation that compels the government to compensate you or to give you interest in case it has delayed making payments to you. The worst sufferers because of this are the MSME units. These units do not have the financial muscle, they do not have financial resources or depth to be able to take the hit of delayed payments from the government. They also do not have the reach, they do not have the resources to be able to litigate and take the government to court to recover their dues along with some kind of compensation. Experience says that the best drafted commercial contracts that you may execute with the government of India, even those experience some kind of defaults, some kind of delays by the government. Payments always get delayed. The only ones who prefer dealing with the government on their terms thus are those who are into some kind of a monopoly position where they have some monopoly over goods or services, or those who are cronies or favorites in the system who know that they being the favorites of the system, their payments will be released on time, or the big ones like to deal with the government because they also have the muscle to be able to take the government to task, to take them to court and recover their dues. Lakhs of crores of payment from the government are very often mired in litigation, arbitration, and at times extremely mischievous litigation. There should be no reason why the government does not pay you on time, but the reasons are many. There are so many reasons why we experience that the government delays making payment to you, and they are certainly not legitimate, but they are there. And let us see Why does the government default or delay making payments to its vendors and suppliers? The first one, of course, is there is no practice or there is no system of a sense of honor, ethics, and commitment in the government of India. You just can't trust the government when it comes to making payments. You can't trust the written word. Forget trusting even the spoken word of a senior Babu who may be manning the system and who can release your payment. So the first is the government is no model or paragon of ethics, of trust, of honor, of standing by commitments when it comes to payments. The second reason, of course, is, which is linked to the first one, this happens because of an insensitive system. The system is insensitive to your woes, your suffering, your hardships, and your rights. And thus, when they delay payments, it really doesn't matter to them at all. And this happens because there is also no sense of or no system of accountability in the government, such that in case somebody's payments are delayed, there should be some accountability, there should be some compensation given by that person to the affected party. The next reason, and which is one of the primary reasons why payments from the government get delayed, is because of the very way in which the government functions. Government functioning is loaded and layered in red tapeism. It is full of procedures, it is full of paperwork, it is full of multiple approvals to be taken. Until that is not completed, no payment will be ever released. No Babu worth a salt will ever compromise the red tape and be in a hurry to release your payment. A Babu gets pulled up in case he has released a payment earlier or on time, but he never gets pulled up in case the payment gets delayed because paperwork had to be done. No Babu would ever want to face the CVC, CBI, CAG or the courts only because he was found to have been eager to ensure that the government honors its payments and makes them on time. Thus, the very functioning of the system delays the making of payments. While this goes on, we have a judiciary which is uncertain, slow, and at times corrupt. It is of no help in ensuring that payments are immediately made where they are stuck or where they are denied. Just enforcing a routine commercial contract in India itself is a long and arduous journey. In India, the average time for enforcing a routine commercial contract is about 1400 days when you take it to courts. The same time when you talk about a country like New Zealand is just about 6 months. Thus, the judiciary is of no help in ensuring that the system improves and government payments are released immediately to those when they are legally due to them. That just does not happen. The next reason, of course, is that the government of India has an unlimited stamina to litigate. Babus, very often in a scheming manner, love to take you to courts and then let it languish there, let the courts decide, even if it takes decades. The fact is that few can match the government of India's litigation arsenal, and that is where the Babu tires you out. The Babu tires you out and you're denied your payments. They just won't come on time. So the unlimited potential and stamina of the government to litigate becomes yet another cause. All this is because of course, corruption. You want your payments on time, grease all the right palms, and in case you don't do it, your payments certainly will get delayed in the system because, as they say, that's how the system works. While all this happens, preference always goes to the cronies. The system's favorites will always get their payments, perhaps even before time, and that happens at the cost of others whose legitimate payments are anyway overdue. Orders are given at times by the government of India, even without budgetary provision. A vendor starts supplying, a vendor starts giving goods and services, only to find out later on when he gives his invoice that the department concerned did not even have the money before they placed the order on him. That becomes yet another routine reason why government payments get delayed. All this reluctance, refusal, delays, and defaults in making payments by the government results in a lot of toxic impact on the entire system. A financial crisis, a financial suffering sets into the system of all those vendors and suppliers who had made goods and services available to the government. A sense of sickness, or rather a genuine sickness, spreads in the larger economy because cash flows get stuck. You make supplies to the government, you don't get your payment on time. a sense of sickness is bound to come into your finances. The second thing that happens because of this, of course, is the vendors concerned who have taken loans from the banks, they are not able to meet their repayment commitments to banks. There's a bigger incidence of NPAs that takes place, and in case it continues for a longer period, even closures of entities take place. So the next impact, of course, is NPAs going up only because the government is breaking your cash flows by not releasing your payments on time. Corruption goes up. This kind of a system, of course, is one that feeds corruption. Corruption goes up. Touts have a great time in the system, and unfair business practices are very often resorted to. The overall impact of this culture of the government not giving you your payments on time is that it erodes the ease of doing business in the country. It also erodes the ease of earning in the country. You look at the balance sheet of any public sector undertaking and you'll find that most of the dues are pending in respect of payments due to the MSME enterprises, even though the law says that they must be paid within 45 days. It's a highly insensitive system. The irony of the matter is that in case you have to pay tax to the government and you don't pay it in time, the government takes your tax along with penalty, along with fine, and also along with interest, sometimes along with prosecution launched on you. But when it comes to the government of India, you never get your payment on time, and you can't ask for interest, you can't ask for penalty, you also can't ask for prosecution of the Babu concern. It is an unfair situation. This is Akhilesh Bhargav signing off till we meet again. Namaskar.
Hello everyone. HW News English is 2 years old now. When we started this venture, we promised ourselves one thing, that news should remain free, because right to know is the right of every Indian. But to keep news free for everyone, we need support from some of you. And thus we have rolled out membership on our YouTube channel HW News English. But mind you, the membership is completely voluntary. The programs that we were doing earlier, that we are doing now, will continue to remain free. First level is a basic level. Here, you can be our supporter by paying Rs 199 per month. This membership gives you certain perks and benefits. The perks include unique badges in front of your name, a live show from Mr. Sujit Nair and from Mr. Akhilesh Bhargava per month for our members. You can also vote in some exclusive members-only polls. Now the second level is Super Supporter. Here you can be our Super Supporter by paying Rs 3,999 per month. This membership will include every perk that comes with basic level. Additionally, our Super Supporters can be a part of a WhatsApp group where we can have discussions and suggestions on various topics. The second perk includes a gift pack with our merchandise. And the third perk is a Google Meet with Mr. Sujit Nair, where you can join the meet and ask your questions to Mr. Nair face to face. Lastly, if you like, we would give a shout out to our super supporters in our programs. So, hope to see you soon with our badges.